So let's take a look at division of fractions. Now we're going to start by taking a look at the two models for division of fractions. One is where we're looking at it as how many groups, and the other is how many in each group. Now we're going to bring all of that back together and then finish up our discussion of division of fractions with back in the fractions handout part 2, which I had given to you previously. So let's look at the activity 6M, where we're going to be looking at this division of fractions. Now, however we interpret that division of fractions, we know that in the fact family triangle with multiplication and division, what we're doing is we're dividing the product by one of the factors. So the product will be 6/4 and the factor will be 3/4, and we want to know what that is, what we're multiplying by. So we have a multiplication, and if we're looking at it as how many groups, then we don't know how many groups. We know there are 3/4 cups in each serving of juice, and that in total we're going to get 6/4 cups. All right, so we want to know how many servings there are. So how many groups of 3/4 do I need to get 6/4? Now, it says here for question 1 is explain how to use the math drawing to solve the problem, for example, in the example. So for example, we want to know how many of these we need to have 6/4. Well, let's see. This is one of those, and this is another one of those, right? So we have 2 of those groups in order to get 6/4. So it should make sense that we need 2 of them. Okay. So does that make sense? Do you see that? So when we're looking at how many of 3/4 do we need to get 6/4, we need 2. So write a simple how many groups word problem for 3 divided by 3/4. Okay. So how about 3 divided by 3/4? So this situation, we have 3 as our product and 3/4 and question mark. And we want to know how many groups. How many groups? Right, so an example there could be that I have some friends and I have 3 pizzas. If each friend is going to get 3/4 of a pizza, how many friends can I serve? Right? So if every friend gets 3/4 of a pizza and I have 3 pizzas, how many friends can I serve? Right, that would be a 3 divided by 3/4 question. Now, and what we could do is we could say, to solve it, right, we could say I have 3 pizzas. Each friend is going to get 3/4 of a pizza. So there's 2, there's 3, and then here's the 4th over there. So that would be 4 friends. Okay. You can also do that with a double number line or a table. You can do that in a number of different ways, but I drew a picture. All right, so Tanya, let's look at the question 3. Tanya and Chrissy are trying to understand 1 divided by 2/3 using the following problem. 1 serving of rice is 2/3 of a cup. I ate 1 cup of rice. How many servings of rice did I eat? So to solve the problem, Tanya and Chrissy draw a square divided into 3 equal pieces, and they shaded 2 of those pieces. Then Tanya says there's 1 2/3 cup of serving of rice in 1 cup, and there's 1/3 cup of rice left over. So the answer should be 1 1/3. Chrissy said the part that left over is 1/3 of a cup of rice, but the answer is supposed to be 3/2, 1 1/2. What went wrong? Help Tanya and Chrissy. All right, so let's think about what they draw. So they drew that 1 serving of rice is 2 cups, 2/3 of a cup. So this is 1 serving, right? And this is 1 cup. Okay. So they shaded everything really well. And how many servings of rice did I eat? If she ate a whole cup, How many servings is that? Well, if this is one serving, how many times would this amount fit into the serving? 2. You would need 2 to fill that serving. So this is half of the serving. Each one of these is a half of the serving. So we have 3 halves of the serving that she ate, if she ate the whole cup of rice. Right, so it does look like Chrissy is correct. Now, what Tanya is doing wrong is that she is taking, let's put her in green, she is taking this as 1 serving, but then she's saying that this extra, a third of a cup, is a third of a cup. Well, if you take 3 of those, you will make a cup, not a serving. Right? So it's not a third of a serving, it's a third of a cup. So she is switching units here. Cup of rice versus 1 serving. Right? So she's switching units. Now what I would like you to do is write an how many group word problem for 1.5 divided by a third, and use any method that we've used to draw it, make sense of it, and also for 1/3 divided by 3/4. And we can talk more about that if you need some a little bit more explanation.